Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you and enjoy the show.
All right, people. Today is the day. The day that the Lord has made. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. My goodness. My goodness. My friend here and stuff and everything. He has gone away from us for a while and stuff. He's always got problem with his internet access. So we shall see what the heck he's got going on. Anyway, he should be on in a little bit. But we're gonna get started because he has all kind of problems going on down there in Florida and stuff and everything. They got bad weather down there. The temperatures all messed up. It got hot. Power's going out. It was 110 down in Tampa, Florida. I think a couple of days ago. And that heat dome and stuff is still there. So they probably done knocked out some power down there, and he'll be on in a little bit. Anyway, uh, I wanted to talk about something today, and I'm always interested in our people, what our people do, and why we always worried about black folks got money. People, our people got money. We have a history of making money. A lot of folks out there and stuff, it goes all the way back to the early 1800s when they first started bringing, well, a couple of years after they started bringing slaves and stuff into the West Indies and bringing them into the United States and everything. They just have a way of being resourceful. Now, we have a lot of folks out there and everything now who are shot into that billionaire class. I guess I don't know if we call it easy to get in there, but there's a lot of people out there. I didn't realize some of them were in that way. I one of them in specific and stuff is Tiger Woods, TW. I Everybody thought, I guess, after his wife decided that she wanted to take him to the cleaners, and she come out of that thing smelling like a rose, that divorce and everything, and she popped out of there with them the three-quarters of $1 billion. Well, she got a nice little chunk out of Tiger, but old Tiger quietly and stuff and everything has built his little empire back up. He still owns his name, imaging, and license, I guess you might want to call it, TW Enterprise. So he has invested money. He has signed a long-term contract with Nike, and he's still going. And right now, he has a son that's pretty old now. And he's playing golf. Probably not doesn't seem to be as good as his dad, but he's out there, and his Tiger is supporting him. He looks down upon him, I guess, like his dad looked down on him when he first got him for golf and everything very well. So I'm pretty sure that because of how much money Tiger's worth, he probably is not forcing his young man to do anything. But I guess the latest toll and stuff and everything is how much this old boy is worth and stuff. He's in the neighborhood of $1.4 billion. Did you all hear that? Tiger Woods is worth $1.4 billion. Hmm. So he's got himself going on. He's got his fingers in a lot of pies and stuff. He's got some real estate, and he got into a firm, or he helped to build a firm and everything that designs world class golf courses. And people who build these golf courses and everything, they pay a lot of money and everything to get these golf courses built. And because he's such a professional and stuff, golf and everything, he's helps to design world class golf courses, and people are paying him a lot of money to do that. So, and he's got some real estate holdings he's got, and he's still got his thing with Nike. So he's got a nice little piece of change coming in the door. Then another athlete that we got out there, well, we got two of them, three, yeah, about three of them. One of them still playing, LeBron James. Another brother who done moved into the billionaire class. 1.2, $1.3 billion. He gets his money from endorsements, and man, he got a lot of stuff going on out there. He's become a rather astute business guy and stuff, even though he's still playing sports. Um, Got some of his family, I guess, involved in it. I see his son and everything is starting to get into professional basketball. One of his sons, anyway. And they got a thing, the James Family Enterprise. So go ahead on, my boy. Hang on in there and do your thing. Make that money. And a lot of these athletes and stuff now, they're getting in close and everything to that. They're signing these quarterbacks are signing these huge contracts. You got man, there's at least four or five of them who are out there who signing whatever billion and $500 million contracts and everything to play for these sports teams. So hopefully they'll take their money and do the same thing and invest it in very, very powerful entities and stuff out there in the business world because they can't play sports forever. And everybody is not a LeBron James. They don't stay in the league for 20, almost 30 years and everything and still play at a very high level. So I'm pretty sure, bruh, man, it's going to be old LeBron probably going to say, hey, better hang them gym shoes up and get out there into that business world and stuff and keep making money because he has got some very lucrative uh, enterprises and stuff going on that he's invested his money and stuff into and everything, and they're bringing him a lot of money along with those big contracts that he hell, I think the last $55 million a year and stuff playing basketball, almost $60 million. So he probably got about another year or two left, and making 60 some $1 million a year. Hey, nice little buck coming in the door and stuff, along with the other stuff you got going on. You'll see what the heck happens with him. And now we get into those retired folks and everything who are out there, like I said, this Tiger age and golf, and but as basketball seems to be very, very favorable and everything to our black athletes because these last two guys and stuff and everything there, and they used to play basketball. One of them is Magic Johnson. He's in that billionaire class. Uh, I think Magic and stuff probably should be they're valuing him at 1.4, 1.6 billion dollars and everything, but he's invested into a conglomerate and stuff. They said it's worth something almost in the 10 to 11 billion dollar mark. So maybe they kind of undervaluing him. I don't know how his function and stuff that's going on because he does have a few partners and stuff out there who are in this venture and everything and stuff with him. He got started early in his life and everything with these business ventures and stuff. And took him a while to convince investors and stuff and everything that he was serious about what he was doing because up until then, only really big guy and stuff who was into making money, and we'll talk about him in just a little bit. But he took some time to convince people that he wasn't just a basketball star and a basketball hero, and that he did have some business acumen and stuff and everything. And right now, he has built up his Johnson Enterprise, worth a lot of money, and his company is worth a lot of money. He's part owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers and stuff now. He's another part owner and stuff into the Washington Commanders, and man, these teams out there and stuff, man, they are worth billions of dollars and everything now. I mean, billions of dollars these teams are worth. So uh, they paid the previous owner, Webster and stuff and everything, quite a bit of money for the Washington Commanders and stuff. And he walked out of that thing with about $3 or $4 billion and everything that they paid him for their team. So evidently, the Commanders is worth a lot of money. Probably worth more than that. So, because Webster had to get out of there because the league had forced him out. He was becoming a liability and stuff for the league. Webster was the previous owner and stuff for the Washington Redskins. And so, anyway, there he is. He's back in the thing again. Man, I
My,
was sitting here talking and got the show going
I'm
on.
in Florida, bro. Anytime it might go out.
I told you, I was telling the audience and stuff. I said he down there in Florida and stuff and everything, and they got. I said you got right there in Tampa. The other day they hit 110, so he might have been. He might have ran the power out and everything got hot. So the transformer probably kicked out.
Go ahead. What you was talking about?
I was talking about uh, these black folks and stuff and everything. There's a lot of people. We got a lot of very, very, very wealthy black folks and stuff and everything who are in the billionaire club. And I was just looking at a YouTube video about it, and the one that I was first started talking about and everything was Tiger Woods, because we always thought that
To woo.
Tiger had after girlfriend that took him for $750 million that he probably wasn't going to be worth anything, but oh, bro, man's up there at that $1.3 billion club and stuff now. And then we got into LeBron and stuff and how he had moved himself into that billionaire class and stuff and everything. And he's probably the only athlete and stuff, I guess, who's still playing who's a billionaire. And then I was talking about Magic Johnson and stuff and everything, the basketball folks and stuff and everything who turned out to be into that billionaire club. And he's got the Johnson Empire, and he's owner of uh, the Dodgers, and he bought the Washington Commanders a couple of years ago and everything now. And shoot, and it seemed like he's got that Midas touch because right time he had bought him and everything, they were sitting down the bottom of the league and everything. And for the last 2 years and stuff, them boys to hit the playoffs and stuff and everything. And last year the Washington Commanders got all the way to the NFC Championship game. So whatever he's done with them and everything, he got that touch. And I was talking about a conglomerate and stuff that he has. They were talking about that they own and assets and stuff into $10 billion range and stuff and everything. And I was wondering and stuff why his value was like 1.3, $1.4 billion and stuff and everything. But maybe something happened or he's got his money invested in other things. And I was explaining to them about how Magic Johnson has been, when he first started out, he had to convince a lot of people to invest and stuff in him. And finally, really kept pushing, and got these white folks to come out there and put their money in there with him and everything. And ever since then, he hasn't looked back. And the last athlete that I had to talk about and everything was MJ himself, Michael Jordan. Michael is up there into that 2, 3 billion, $3.3 billion mark. Yeah, he done moved out of that 1 billion category. He's in that three because he's also had owner of the Charlottes and stuff. He's sold them for what they said $3 billion and everything. So worth a lot of coins and stuff now, but he still got that very, very lucrative contract with Nike and everything, the Michael Jordan shoes and stuff and everything. And they said that that thing brings him in a lot of money. They Nike and stuff brings in something like $1.5 billion and stuff, and Michael Jordan's paraphernalia and stuff and everything every year. That's a nice little piece of change he keeps bringing in and stuff and everything that he probably will never drop out of that $3 billion club. He can't spend that money fast enough. And he's been with them for hell, what, 30 some years now with Nike and everything in their shoe business, and he's got a lifetime deal with them. So they're gonna be continuing to pay him and everything until they pat dirt in his face, as long as Nike's still around. So very, very lucrative. Man, that's why I was talking to people about black folks and stuff and everything who got money and how we started out, black folks making money. The first millionaire and stuff, black person and stuff out there was a guy named I think Warner. What this guy's name was? His name was wow, James Fortner. James Fortner, the first millionaire out there, black millionaire back in the 1800s. The old boy was a. They said he was a son of a gun. He uh he came from the islands and he got involved in shipbuilding when he uh, went to California to a town called um, Vera Cruz. I can't pronounce that name, but it's Hispanic, and it was the name of the town and everything before it became what it is now. It's San Francisco. But he became involved in shipbuilding and stuff back then. He perfected a particular sail because back then they had sails and stuff and everything that they put on these ships and everything were sailing around the world. And he figured out how to rig those sails and everything to where he would make those ships a lot faster out there in the ocean. And he made a lot of money and stuff doing that because the guy and stuff who he worked for and everything finally died, and he had enough money where he bought the shipbuilding company out, and they said he just once he bought them out, that he was big money, first millionaire, black millionaire in this country. And then they got talking about Madam C.J. Walker, but her name wasn't originally Madam C.J. Walker. She happened to work for the lady who was the millionaire. And this lady was a chemist, and they started their business and stuff in St. Louis, making big money with hair products. Uh, Madam C.J. Walker's real name was Sarah Breedlow. I didn't know that. I thought her name was Madam C.J. Walker, but she was a student and stuff of Anna Malone, who was a chemist, and the student turned out to make more money than the chemist did, even though the chemist was a millionaire too and stuff. But the student turned out to even make more money. So there's a long history, man, of these folks and stuff and everything that I got down here who were millionaires and stuff back in the 1800s. It was these folks and stuff, man, was something else. This another one named Robert Reed Church. He was came to Memphis, Tennessee, and started building his business and stuff. And he had a tavern and a restaurant. And once the tavern and stuff restaurant started doing good, the white folks came in and burnt the thing down. we ain't having this nigga come in here and make no money on us. So after they burnt the place down, they thought they had killed him, and they did, but they didn't. He said, "Damn, I'm staying right here. I'm staying right here in Memphis because that's where I can make some money at." And he turned around and everything, and went back and started buying up properties and stuff there in Memphis and stuff. After they had a disease crisis that came on there, and yellow fever, and everybody was leaving the town of Memphis and everything. So he was buying up property around there at stuff dirt cheap. He turned out to be a millionaire again. So he said, "I'm not letting you white folks run me out." And then they were, man, it was, we got a, white folks got a bad habit, man, of not letting black folks do anything because they were talking about the guy who built the Black Wall Street. His name was Ottawa W. Gurley. He bought some land there right outside of Tulsa and created the Black Wall Street. And as you know what happened with that, white folks came in there and burnt that place down. And Mr. Gurley and stuff never did come back after that. He lost a lot of money and lost property, and everybody around him lost money and property. But we had some folks out there. There's another guy named Jeremiah. Jeremiah. He came from the West Indies. Jeremiah came in and got ran out of the West Indies because they almost killed him. And he settled in, guess what? Wall Street. He became the first black millionaire on Wall Street. So he was a very, very shrewd businessman. And he, and the white folks didn't like him, but it wasn't nothing they can do about it and everything because he he was a son of a gun. They said anybody that fooled with him and everything, he dealt him a bad hand. So and he turned around and said, "Forget you, son of a gun," and made him a white woman. He said, "I'm gonna completely humiliate you, white folks. I'm gonna marry me a white woman." Anyway, man, I was giving them a little history and stuff of our folks and stuff and everything. We all consider black people to be poor folks and everything, but we got a lot of folks out there, man, that's making a lot of money. I didn't even touch upon all the other black folks and stuff, other than the athletes and stuff. You got Tyler Perry and everything. You got Oprah Winfrey, and one of them that really surprised me was Rihanna. She's worth about $1.5 billion and everything now. And that girlfriend just, and she got her $1 billion quick. It didn't take her very long at all, and she moved that billionaire class. So they talked about her also. But man, there was a lot of them, and the fact is that a lot of those black folks and stuff and everything who are billionaires and stuff now and everything, multi-billionaires and stuff, they're residing in Africa. Probably half of them are in Africa who are billionaires. I think there's two of them in Nigeria. One of them is coming from South Africa. A couple more came from Ethiopia. Stuff they built empires and stuff over there, telecommunications and stuff like that. A lot of them got into oil coming out of Nigeria, but they were oil barons. So anyway, on you. I did enough talking. They probably tired of me telling them all about black folks having money.
Oh yeah, I mean, you just touched the surface,
Yeah,
but
there's still a lot more that I haven't even talked about. I ain't talking about this one guy who came out of the California area, and he come up there, and they gave him because at the time he was became a Mexican citizen, and being a Mexican citizen, they and he lived up there in the northern part of California. They gave him 35,000 acres of land, and the man in 2 weeks after the man had passed away and stuff, they discovered gold on his property. Go ahead. I'm
You
sorry.
know, the one thing that puzzles me, well, it's not really a puzzle. It's trying to have decorum. And the Judicial Committee, the Senate Judicial Committee, who's basically the overseer of the Supreme Court, and you know, they approve all the judges, and you know, they give the okay to people in different high positions. And the thing that when the Democrats had majority, they could have called these people on the carpet, the Supreme Court, and they was doing it right in their face, breaking all the laws, and because they're not above the law, taking money from billionaires, doing all kind of favors for corporations and what have you. And they could have caused a big stink. They could have called them up to the committee and interviewed them. But I think in the back of their mind, they were saying, well, they are the highest officers of the land. We believe they're going to all do the right things. Over the years, they have not, a lot of things they do, you know, is not in the Constitution. They try to do, they're supposed to be doing the right thing, the fair thing. And now, what they're doing now is the so-called Republican thing, or the mega thing, or the Trump thing. People protest and they file a petition, or they say they want this to go to the Supreme Court, or they go to another higher court than the Supreme Court, and then Trump take it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court allows him to do it. Case in point, there's a thing that was going on as far as people that's on a certain committee to govern certain things that's supposed to be happening, and there were 2 or 3 Democrats that was on the committee, and Supreme Court allowed them to get fired for now, temporarily. So my thing is this: they're all on the take. Not all the Supreme Court people, but those there are 2 or 3, maybe 4 of them that's on the take. When you have the justice of the Supreme Court, the head person, the head honcho, get his wife a $10 million job working for a law firm. You have a justice that goes on a yacht trip and somebody buys his mama's house for him, pays for one of his relatives' school education. You have a justice that got away with real estate fraud or somewhat kind of sketchy. So here we are now. We are in my opinion, we are in a gangster thuggery America now. Now, I already knew that we were the gangsters and the mafia, different parts of the mafia, different groups of what we call mafia. You know, it's just the Italians are not the only ones have their little group. And that's $1 trillion business. And what makes it $1 trillion business? Because number one, uh, when you have money laundering, because in order to sell those drugs and get those drugs in there, and you can make a lot of money on the street. That money has to be laundered because usually you have to have some kind of way to get that money in the banks. The reason why Epstein was able to do what he was doing because he was money laundering, and that's why he had so much money. He had the connections with different people around the world and different banks. The man didn't work, but he got a lot of money. And a lot of that money is incorporated with drugs and trafficking. Two of the major crimes that is going on in this country. And in order to get that kind of money, you got to be able to connive with certain people so that you can buy property, so that you can invest money into it. Because we know there's laws. I came in and I had $20,000 cash. The first thing I would have to do is I had to register that money. I can't just put $20,000 in the bank. If I got cash money. So right now, the reason why we are where we are is because there are laws for the average person, but there are no laws for people that got money. Because these banks and what have you, when you talk about giving them multi-millions of dollars into their phone, they're gonna take it. And I can name you 4 or 5 banks that has been money laundering, and they get a slap on the wrist. I'm talking about millions of dollars they charge them. They don't care because they're money laundering billions and billions of dollars every week. Here we are. They have psyched us up, thinking that the poor people is taking all y'all middle class money, getting welfare and food stamps and Section 8 and all that. And we know there's a lot of people that are broke. They're not necessarily poor because they got a place to stay head over their head. They get a little check, maybe Social Security or whatever, or maybe they got a little job, and this is on a survival mode. But they need that safety net to help them out, which is a form of Social Security, socialism, by the way. Section 8, okay, your rent is $1,000 a month, but Section 8 will say, okay, we're gonna pay 800 of it. You have to pay 2, so you still got to pay something. So then you have people same people that need money to keep their lights on. So they have programs where you can get money every month to keep your lights on because it gets, you can't freeze to death when it's cold and you got to have air conditioner. So they might get a $300 or $400 check to help them out on pay their light bill. So now you got people getting helped out on their light bill. You got people helping out on getting their food. You got the people helping them out so they can have a place to stay. Well, what's happening? He tried to cut HUD 50%, cut it down to almost $40 billion. HUD was almost in the 80 billion range. And even the Republicans say, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. You will mess up the whole system. Now, the reason why these mega folks are hollering and screaming, and I'm going to shut up here, and I just want to bring this up 2 more minutes. The reason why these mega people are screaming, because everybody knows that there are people out there that's making millions and millions of dollars off the government. And they want to know who's getting that money. And nobody's investigating nobody now. Every once in a while, people get bold and they try to really get over on the government, and you might have a group of people that's swindling Medicaid or Medicare, or you might find a group of people that get caught that's trying to get into the drug business, and they get caught because they don't have all the mechanisms and all that. Because see, this right here is a well-oiled machine that's been around for 40, 50 years. And if you're just getting started and you're a small fry and you try to get bigger than what you are and try to expand your business, you're going to get caught. Just like these small fries is doing this trafficking. They catch them because see, everywhere they go, like if you got 10 people you trying to traffic, you have to have a hotel to put them in, or you got to have a place to stay, have them stay so they can track you. But those people that's in the up and up in trafficking, they just turn their head because they greasing those palms. But the small fry track for just like people tracking drugs, people tracking people, doing all kind of things illegal. If you paying the right people, they just turn their head. And you can pay people, but you ain't paying them enough. So therefore, hey, we're gonna lock you up. So right now, this is what America is right now. We are in a gangster, silly season when the American people are sitting up here arguing about pennies, nickels, and dimes, and not only that, about politics, thinking that, oh, I don't want my kids to be reading about this and reading about that, and I don't want my kids to do this or do that or be around transgender people, or I don't want my blah, blah, blah. Stupid stuff. And they got them, bro. They got them. They know how to divide the American people. If they can't divide you by race, they're going to divide you by stupid issues that don't mean a hill of beans. For example, transgender athletes. I read there was only it wasn't even hardly a dozen people involved in that crowd. But they have made it like it's overtaken. So I don't know. I'm old school. I was born in the late '40s, so therefore, I came back when we didn't have no cell phones and we didn't have no internet. We didn't have none of this. So we living in a whole different world when I came up as a little kid. So the bottom line is what I'm saying is that this world is moving so fast, and these people they hear certain things and they get little feeds here and there, and they just drum it into their head, saying that these people ain't right. These people ain't right. These people ain't right. They coming to get you. They gonna take your job. They gonna do this. They gonna do that. Instead of you taking the time and finding out the real deal. And so that's why we are where we are right now. We got a dumbass president that don't give a shit. This man didn't. He have taken away all our buffers when it comes to security, and he talking about something that happened 10 years ago. I mean, only hope we got is good American people that's out there that's working in these security positions, that they're protecting us in all kind of ways. Because I'm telling you, there are countries out there right now that want to destroy America, and this dude is knocking down all our guardrails, putting dumb people in positions that's not serious or don't know what they're doing, don't know what the hell they're doing. Wake up, America. Wake up, America. Black people is not your enemy. And we the main people they use to make like we your enemy. We're not your enemy. I know you're jealous of black people because, a lot of us are well off, top athletes in the world, top entertainers in the world, and a lot of us are top business people in the world. You get these immigrants and they wonder, how did they get their money? But that's okay. We've been through this before and we'll get through it now. How we gonna get through it? I have no idea because that ain't my lane. But there's a lot of people that are very, very, very smart, and I'm talking about black folks and what we call good white folks. So it's just a matter of time. So we just waiting it out right now. Because this is some serious shit here, man. I'm telling you, there's some serious stuff going on. A lot of stuff that's going on that's going to hurt a lot of people. I had to take a mental break yesterday because it was too much for me. Because, it's too much. It's too much. When you're reading all of this stuff, Ed, and you're hearing all of these things that's happening, people are losing their mind, bro. They're going around, they don't know what to do. Somebody keep telling them stuff, and then they go after them and they start shooting up people. There's a
Oh
lot of
man,
people
that
that,
you talking about that guy in Manhattan who
well, man,
shot them
it
folks up?
happened. Look what happened in Rio. It was like 3 or 4 of them shootouts. This is the thing that's what's going on. There's a lot of people that get so fed up and they have been programmed that these people are your enemy. You know what our Florida person did? You know what he gonna do? He gonna have a day or a weekend or something or a week. No taxes on guns. All the guns you want, you don't have to pay no taxes. I'm telling you, man. We got some people that hate America, bro. People that hate America don't want to do the right thing. They just hate. Maybe they just hate people. Just hate people, man. They hate poor people. They hate working class people. They even hate middle class people. Because middle class people always want to make more money and get a better promotion. You know, get more education so they can get a raise.
It it seems that we here in this country and stuff, we we do things and stuff and everything that seems to be uh, what is going on in our country, and our leaders and stuff reflect what's going on in our country. It looks like it. That's what it seems to me. It reflects what's going on here in the United States, because there's got to be probably over half the folks here in this country and stuff and everything who have come here who are getting out there are illiterate.
Woo! What you
They
say?
are, they are because the, our country reflects our leader. He is profoundly illiterate. I can't believe,
I never thought of it that way.
yeah, I can't believe that this Ursula von der Leyen, or whatever her name is, the European Commission's president and everything, sat there on the national stage and watched this idiot talk. And I know she had to be looking at him and saying, he got to be the stupidest son of a gun that ever United States ever brought here and to negotiate any damn thing. And she sat there and patted that Negro on the head. Oop, oop, oop. Yep, Mr. President, yep, we negotiated this, and our country, our union, European Union is going to get this, and instead of paying 35% tariff, we're going to have to pay 25%. And yes, you negotiated this down for us, and it's looking good,
15% in,
and
15%.
we're gonna be all right. But
But then she turned around. Did you see her speech after he left?
I stopped listening to her because I knew what the heck she was doing to her. Because you
She
know
sure
damn
was
well,
placating them, bro.
she know damn well they were placating him because, and the reason, now listen to the reason why I'm saying this. Less than a week ago, she went over there and had a meeting with China, and China threw her ass out of their country.
Really?
Yes, they did. They put her ass on a damn bus and said, "Get the fuck out of our country." And the reason why they said that is because she was trying to get China to talk against Russia. And y'all see things I ain't doing that yet. And he threw it on the daggone bus and got her the hell out of there. So girlfriend had to have a win some kind of way. So her win was going over there and dealing with the United States and Trump. And she know damn well that the only thing that she can do is say, well, we agreed to this. But Ted,
She got to
she
get the
can't,
approval.
she can't agree to shit.
No, she can't agree. She got to
She
get
can't agree
approval.
to a goddamn
That's right.
thing. She got 27 other countries that's going to have to vote for that shit. And already France and two or three other countries said, damn that shit, we ain't doing that. So that's why I said she was placating Trump. She was just sitting there making it seem like she had a deal going on that she couldn't get one with China, so she got to get one with somebody. So he was the next in line because anybody who saw that news thing with Trump sitting there talking knew there's something was wrong with that man. He has gotten he is out of his freaking mind.
But
I'm telling you.
Ed, look, think about this. People see him in that meeting, and he's talking what he's going to do and what's going to happen. This is good for America and good for the EU and all that. And so everybody that America, like you just said, illiterate
Literate. They literate.
and
Even the
don't
news people.
understand, and they think, oh yeah, our president is he's doing this, he's doing that, and then shit happen.
Art of a deal. We got a deal. We got a
Yeah,
deal with the European
not a
Union.
damn thing happened. Did
Yeah,
not a damn thing happen.
he had a because if you look at it, she kept saying, "We got a framework." Ain't no goddamn deal. It's a fucking framework. Everybody can do a framework, but the sad part about it, the sad part about it is that uh, we just it's it is man that if that deal had have gone through, or if it was real, we would be paying 25% more for anything that comes from the European Union
Yep.
because the tariffs is being paid by the American people. It's not being paid by the European Union, it's paid by us. The only thing that they probably don't care about is that the American people won't buy their products and stuff if the damn price get too damn high. That's the only thing that's probably stopping them from saying you can do whatever you want to do with your tariffs and stuff, and we'll send our product into your country. But because the fact that they and we're going to be resistant against buying their products and stuff, and that the merchants and stuff who are bringing the product in the country can't afford to pay them daggone prices and stuff for their products, so they probably won't be able to sell anything, especially the damn cars. And you talking about having a BMW or a Mercedes Benz and stuff, man, costing another 25% more. Then so if it's $100,000, you're gonna have to pay $125,000 and stuff for it. That's a lot of damn money. So normal folks can't even afford to even buy BMW, but even the older folks who got middle class folks, up and middle class folks, probably don't want to spend that kind of money on a damn car. But that's what we got. And the same thing happening with China. I mean, Japan. And they're having another meeting, a third meeting now with China because China don't want to give up their precious metals. And they all they're doing is dog it out. They want this August the 1st deadline to go by so they can say, well, we're going to give them another 60 days. And once they say that, then China probably going to close up shop and say, well, okay, fine. We got a framework again. Oh, man, this is a mess here. An absolute mess. And I
But you
see
know
why.
what? I never thought about that, Ed, you know. And well, I knew that a lot of people, like I'm talking about the black community, you know, when I say illiterate, it's not like they're don't know what's going on, but they don't really go into the weeds and do the real research. They might know a little bit of here and a little bit that, and they know that a lot of people are crooks and they're getting duped and cheated and all that kind of stuff. But to know the weeds and really dig and going down the rabbit hole and do research, that takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of time. That takes a lot of work to know really what's going on. And how do you beat the system? See, you can complain all you want, and you can act like you the victim, but this game is about competition. When you out there, if you out there. Now I'm not out there. If I was out there, then I'd be out there battling them too. But the point is, a majority of the people that's out there, the 65% of people that's out there, they battling the system.
That's the only
And the
way
thing
to
is,
survive.
when you battling the system, what you're doing is you trying to make money, take care of your family. If you got kids, take care of your kids. And so therefore, you trying to maneuver and all that. But the point is that it's almost like you by yourself. Every person is by themselves, and then you can't fight by yourself. You ain't gonna win by yourself. You're just gonna be out there. You might have a few people that you can talk to, or people that you can maybe even work with or partnership with. And that would be probably the best bet. Find a collective people that you can trust and work with, and sort of kind of make money that kind of way. Because there's nothing new under the sun. Everything is duplicated, triplicated, and everything else. I mean, it's all kind. We talked about this the other day. There's hundreds of different kinds of business, all of them the same. The thing is, you got to have enough customers to buy your product or your services so that you can make money. Because we live in a capitalist society. Other than that, you got your hand out, you waiting for somebody to send you a check, or you go and you apply for something so that you can get whatever you got to get to survive. But if you want to do more than survive, you're going to have to get into business. Because working for somebody is not going to work it unless you got a plus job, and you making more than the average person. You ain't making no. And I'm not saying this is a bad salary. It's a decent salary, 75, 65, $75,000, a decent salary. But if you're making double that, 150, 200, you got enough money to put aside if you know how to save your money and sacrifice. You can put away 2,000, four or five or $10,000 a month. But if you just barely getting by $65,000, $75,000 in today's lifestyle, you just getting by, bro. It's a good living, and if your wife working and she making the same or a little bit more, or a little less, you're not doing too bad. But you're really just surviving because it's really penny, nickels, and dimes. These people are dealing with millions and billions. So how do you navigate? How do we navigate? Because now, Ed, you know this. We talked about this. Pretty soon, we're gonna be in that whole digital currency, coin-based thing now, and
We in
pretty
it
soon,
already.
you ain't gonna be able to have no cash.
Right. You in it already.
Yeah,
In it already.
and the thing is, you're gonna have people that, you know, with their hand out, looking, making sure that the government send them whatever, and they can stop it at any time. And here's the deal: if you got a little money, they can track everywhere you go if you that important or if they want to. Just like that guy that just shot up that place, they found out that about that man, everything. They know everything about that man that shot up that place in New York.
Yep.
How much money he got, if he got any money to do it,
Where he
whatever.
came from, how he got there.
There you go. They know everything about that man. They know everything about his family, his brothers, if he got brothers, sisters, all that. They do a workup. So they try to
But
see if he had what they call it, a dossier. See if he had some kind of manifesto or whatever,
yeah,
to see, you
well,
know.
they I don't know. They couldn't figure out exactly why. The only thing is that he had a grudge against the National Football League some kind of way. I don't know. Anyway, final word, brother. We are at an hour already. What's your final word here? Give it to me.
How do we get the American people, that 90 million people, to wake up? That's what this right here is. This is me now. How do we get these 90 million people to wake up and vote for the best, for their own best interests? That's what I want to know. How do we do it? Because I'm gonna tell you, the Democrats ain't doing it. The Republicans, what they doing, what they doing. They're trying to suppress the vote. But how do we get our 90 million people to vote? You ain't got to worry about Black America.
Well, I think a lot of them too, because when they haven't, the nasty stuff hasn't even really hit them yet. We haven't even got to the nasty part yet. I mean, we have not gotten to the nasty part yet. And man, we haven't got to the nasty part yet. I can't even imagine what's coming down the pipe, man. Cannot even imagine what's coming down the pipe. Anyway, my last word is that, man, we got a lot of stuff going on. We just got a lot of stuff going on, and I think that it's all starting back and everything, and with getting ourselves reacclimated to the 21st century. We are not acclimated and stuff to what is coming at us right now. They're still sitting down there playing tiddlywinks and everything with the 20th century. At least some of the people who are in their 50s are getting ready to get into retirement age, because usually when you get into the 50s or almost 55, get close to retirement, most corporations and stuff are planning to get rid of you. They're running you out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They are running you out because they don't want you have reached their maximum amount of money that they want to pay you. And if they can hire some new people to come in and stuff and everything at a cheaper pay scale, then that's what they plan on doing. So those folks and stuff over there, you're gonna have to do a lifestyle change. You're gonna have to change yourself and figure out how in the world you're gonna make it through until you get to your retirement age of another 5 or 7 years later. And in that little span of time and stuff, man, you can get broke, lose your house, lose everything you got just right before you get ready to go into retirement. So you're gonna have to figure out how to navigate into this 21st century, because there's a whole lot of stuff coming at us, buddy. A lot of stuff coming at us. There's robot stuff, there's AI stuff that's coming at you. You're not ready for it, it's going to run over the top of you. That's my final word. People, have a good day. And you folks here on the East Coast and the Southeast, stay cool. You get out of that damn heat. Don't have no heat stroke. Bye.